And we're at Gateway Church in Austin, Texas with John and Kathy Burke. John wrote a New York bestseller a couple of years ago called Imagine Heaven. And out of that, they've come up with a devotional. John and Kathy, great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Now, you've got so many amazing stories, and even as I was preparing for this, which ones I'm going to talk about. So we picked a few of them out. Now, a 5-year-old girl, her name is Margaret. She was diagnosed with scarlet fever, and actually her appendix had erupted. Infection took place to the edge of death. So tell me, John, what did you learn in Margaret's story?
Yeah, this 6-year-old girl then talks about how she was taken to heaven, to this beautiful place, and she walks through this archway of beautiful flowers with this angel, and she's just in awe, and she asks the angel, "Are these real?" And the angel kind of laughs and says, "Yes, it's real." And she comes back and decades later paints this vision of what that archway was like with all these flowers. Well, she's in a conversation with her oncologist because she was fighting cancer. And the oncologist finds out she'd had a near-death experience and was interested in them. And she said, "I painted it." And he said, "Could I see that?" And he asked for a copy of the painting, hangs it on the wall of his office. Well, Mary Olivia was a single mom fighting cancer who comes into the office and stares at the painting and says to the doctor, "I've been there." And he said, "You know where that is?" And she says, "Yes, when I was a child, I died. Temporarily, they revived me, and I walked that arch with Jesus."
So Kathy, what do we learn from a story like that? I mean, I get reading it, and as John is telling it again, I get the chills here. Just the way that God would be so intricate involved here. But what do we learn from that?
Like what we try to do in the devotional is bring it home, right? And after that story, it illustrates what it talks about in the Bible about God is with us always. And even to the point of orchestrating specific moments in time that he knows we need for the
Like
Mary Olivia coming in to be reminded that, wow, Jesus is with me even now when I'm facing this hard time.
And we need to meditate on those kinds of things, don't we? Like, it's, there's the prayer part of this, there's also the meditation on the scripture, because that's a great story, but there's also an important application for all of us.
That's right. And we also do have a prayer to help even guide you when you want to pray and meditate over what you're learning from it too. And the devotional is filled with many new stories, as well as ones that were featured in John's original book too, that just bring so many of God's truths to life.
Well, so if you got to Imagine Heaven, you got to get the devotional as well, because there's, as you mentioned, there's more stories. And I think it's important that we do understand heaven, because it motivates us on how we live here so we can be effective. One of the things at 100 Huntley Street, we always want to get good resources into your hands, and this is a great resource. Imagine Heaven devotional, 100 reflections to bring heaven to your life today. Give us a call, get your copy, 1-800-265-3100, or go to crossroads.ca.